All right, emergency video. Make sure that mic's recording. Emergency video from your commissioner here. Ha 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 ha. Holy fuck. This is the Deon waiver. I submitted this on Sunday because I needed a wide receiver, which Jono failed to process. I thought Deon Jackson days were over. I am saved. It's very specific language. I would believe this was a joke. The joke story would be more believable if all this said is, ha ha ha, holy fuck, I get to keep Deon. The incriminating part is, I submitted this on Sunday because I needed a wide receiver, which Jono failed to process. It's very clear. This is the transaction he intended for me to process for him on Sunday. I just wasn't next to my computer at the time, right? I was driving home, so I couldn't do it. Which Jono failed to process. I thought Deon Jackson's days were over. I'm saved, referring to the fact that since this intended transaction, and on Tuesday, Nyheim Hines is traded, so Deon's value went up. So Ty's thinking he's flexing on the league, showing, I thought I had to drop Deon, and now I'm obviously going to keep him because of the trade news. Fuck all you guys, right? That's the joke he's trying to make. And then I start to show him, hey, moves get locked. Doesn't matter how long it takes me to get to them. He was telling me to make this move on Sunday. Now, the tricky part here is, like I said, I wasn't there to instantly make the move. So what happens is we just kind of have to, we would have been in trust mode, right? We would have been in, hey, let's trust time mode. On Tuesday, when I went in to put that claim, I would have been like, okay, it shows I got to drop someone. Who are you dropping? Who did you want to drop on Sunday? And Ty could have lied. Ty could have said Jahan Dotson, Andy Dalton, whoever the fuck, right? He could have lied. There's nothing. I was a bad commissioner here in not getting him to state the player's name at the time. I wasn't by my computer, so it wasn't clear to me that he had to drop someone to make the transaction. It wasn't clear to me that he was going to block Callaway. Sometimes I go into ad for people and they've already dropped the person they want, right? And I think I was driving. So I was just like, okay, pick him up and start at flex. Sure. All right, I'll do it later today. I was assuming there was going to be room to drop someone, or I was assuming it wouldn't be a big deal if he let me know after the fact who it was, right? So that's on me. And that was setting Ty up to be able to lie if he wanted to. But he revealed himself. So once you reveal yourself and your actual intention on Sunday, I'm going to process it like it was supposed to happen on Sunday. I'm not going to let you act off the new trade information. Imagine if somebody texted me, hey, I want to drop, I need to add this player, drop Damian Harris. And then a couple days go by, I haven't gotten to it, and Ramondre Stevenson tears his ACL. And they text me, and they're like, hey, just kidding. I want to keep Damian. Can you drop Andy Dalton for me? Or drop whoever for me? Obviously, no. Obviously, you don't get to add on Sunday and then drop later after the week's news has, sort of come through and player value has changed, right? It'd be a pretty shitty league if I was letting people do that. Make last-minute ads and change who you were dropping and picking up. Ty was in a position to get away with one, but he incriminated himself. That's why he's so upset. He incriminated himself, right? So he thinks initially it was a joke, right? It's a pretty good cover-up. This is the best he can go to. He says, well, you can't process a waiver I canceled. You can't process a waiver I canceled. So again, this is 2 times now. Jono failed to process the waiver, and now he says you can't process a waiver I canceled. Both of these things make it really seem like that waiver was in there, and that's who he was intending to drop on Sunday, right? He still hasn't realized I can do it. And now as soon as I say that he made a locks, now he switches to I was never dropping Deon. So he switched from I submitted this on Sunday to he switched it from I submitted this on Sunday and you can't process a waiver I canceled to I was never doing this. I was dropping Dotson. This seems like a little piece of evidence, but let's keep going. I was dropping Dotson comes back. It comes back in a relevant way because then he switches up the story. So Tuesday we learn Michael Williams was out. Maybe he could have been moved into Ty's IR spot and he wouldn't have had to drop anyone. Doesn't matter. I went into process this on Tuesday and Mike Williams was still not in Ty's IR spot because I don't think he learned until Tuesday or realized that he can be moved to IR spot. That's just a manager error. That's just league manager error on his part. But that's not something that we have to account for, right? He thought he had to submit a waiver, and when it made me put it in on Sunday, if I was doing it, it would have said, who are you dropping? And he would have said Deon Jackson, right? But now he changes the story. Instead of it was a joke and I was dropping Dotson, now it's, having Mike Williams on the bench allowed me to do so without having to drop a player. So now we switched the story up from it was a joke to, I knew I had Mike Williams. No, you didn't. You didn't move Mike Williams to IR until Tuesday when everyone told you it was available. See, Ty's saying that all you had to do was add Callaway. He never said to drop anyone because he had an open bench spot. Well, if you had an open bench spot, why did you submit this on Sunday? Why did you cancel a waiver claim if you just had it? Why did you drop Dotson instead if you just had that open slot? The fact that he mentioned that he wanted to drop Dotson and then sent the screenshot saying that he put in that waiver on Sunday to drop Deon are all contradicting pieces of evidence. It's fucked up, Ty. It's scummy. You could have got away with one, I guess, if you wanted to play that scumbag shit and actually drop someone different, which you probably would have because you had new information. But you're caught red-handed. You incriminated yourself. It's a tough pill to swallow, especially because Deon's going to be relevant now. If this was any other player, nobody would give a fuck. But you incriminated yourself. We're not going to let you get away with one. We're not going to let you act on new information post your intended drop post-Sunday. We have to act in a perfect world as if you could have instantly added and dropped. And it is what it is. Hope that catches everyone up.